and women might be speaking the same language, but let's be real. We're not having the same conversation. The words are the same, but the meanings, whole different universe. She says, I'm fine. What she really means is you better get CSI level detective skills and figure out what's wrong immediately. What does he hear? Cool, she's fine. Let me go play the game real quick. Sir, she is not fine. She's already planning your obituary and picking out the church choir songs. Or how about this one? She says, do whatever you want. Fellas, this is not freedom. That's not the green light. That's a trap. That's basically a pop quiz with no study guide. And if you answer wrong, you just enroll yourself in the Couch University program. See, the biggest fights in relationship don't always start with cheating, money, or family drama. Nope. A lot of it starts right here with communication gaps. So today we're breaking down what men hear versus what women say, and vice versa. And once we're done, you'll start noticing these translations everywhere, at home, at brunch, and even in group chats. Let's get into it. So let's talk about the classic, I'm fine. Now, this one right here is universal. Fellas, if she says I'm fine with that sharp tone, the one where her lips get tight and she won't look at you, you need to pause. That is not peace. That is a storm brewing. And ladies, let's be real. We do this on purpose sometimes. We want to figure it out right. It's like a relationship pop quiz. But most men, they fail because in this world, fine means fine. They take it at face value and move on. Meanwhile, we're in the kitchen, clanking pots and pans, waiting for them to finally notice something's wrong. So here's the translation. I'm fine almost never means fine. It usually means I'm hurt, I'm annoyed, or I need attention. But I don't feel like spelling it out. And fellas, if you learn to pick up on that, you'll save yourself a lot of arguments. Do whatever you want. This phrase right here has ended relationships because ladies, when we say do whatever you want, what we really mean is I don't like what you're about to do, but I want to see if you'll put me first. Men, you're here it literally. You hear freedom. You're like, bet, I'm heading out with the guys. And then when you come back, she's sitting there on the couch like, oh, so you really did what you wanted to do. The truth is, it's not about the plans. It's about the priority. She wants to know if you'll choose her without being told to. So the safe translation for men, if you hear do whatever you want, the real answer is, what do you want, babe? Next, let's talk about the silent wars. This one is the funniest difference. When men go quiet, it's often because they're literally thinking about nothing. They're zoning out. It's like when a computer screen goes black after sitting idle too long. But when women go quiet, that silence is loud. It usually means something's wrong, but we don't feel like explaining it yet. We want you to notice. The problem is, men don't always pick up on it. They think, oh great, she's quiet, finally some peace. But in reality, that silence is like a countdown clock. And when it hits 0, all little things we've been holding in, they're coming all out at once. So here's the translation. Silence doesn't mean the same thing for everyone. For men, it's often just space. For women, it's often a signal. There's a difference. The dreaded, we need to talk. Fellas, admit it. When you see a text from her that says, we need to talk, your stomach drops. You start thinking about everything you've done wrong in the last month, trying to figure out which mistake finally caught up to you. But ladies, let's be fair. We know that phrase set off alarms. You might mean something small, but by the time he gets home, he's already convinced himself you're breaking up with him. Here's a smoother approach. Instead of we need to talk, try saying, hey, can we chat later? Same message, less panic. It's not that deep. This one right here starts so many arguments because when men say it's not that deep, they usually mean it literally. It doesn't feel serious to them, but when a woman hears it, it sounds like you're minimizing her emotions. For us, it's not always about the size of the situation. It's about the principle behind it. If we feel dismissed, we're going to make it deep real quick. So here's the translation. Instead of saying it's not that deep, men, try saying I hear you, but I don't see it that same way. It's softer and it shows you're not brushing her off. Sometimes it's not about agreeing. It's about making sure she feels acknowledged. Subtle codes. These two phrases cause chaos on both sides. When a man say, I'll do it later, he usually means it. But his later and her later are two different calendars. For her, later means in the next few hours. For him, it means in the next few days or until he gets reminded again. That's why women often just do it themselves, frustrated, and now there's a whole new fight. And more often than not, when a woman says nothing wrong, oh, something is definitely wrong. But instead of addressing it right away, She'll let it simmer. Men, if you hear nothing's wrong, don't just accept that at face value. Check in, because ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It just builds up until it explodes. So what did we learn today? Men and women might be using the same words, but we're not always speaking the same language. And that little gap in translation, that's where the laughs, the confusion, and the arguments live. The solution isn't perfect listening. It's better decoding. Sometimes it's about asking questions instead of assuming. Sometimes it's about better delivery. And sometimes it's just about admitting that the way we process communication is different and learning to meet in the middle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with somebody who needs a little translation help in their relationship. Until next time, this has been Inside Jazz, where we decode the unspoken.